Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Kitchen Dough with Mary and Heather. I'm Mary Goulet.
And I'm Heather Ryder, and super excited right now because we have an amazing woman that is calling into our show who has been in this cottage food industry and actually leads an amazing group of cottage food people on a Facebook group called Creating Your California Cottage Food Business.
Awesome. All right. Hey, Bonnie, did you hear me say hi to you?
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. I'm so happy to hear about your show. I think it's a great idea.
Well, you know, the thing about it is, Bonnie, is...
Tell her, Heather.
Mary and I have been in media for a very long time, and you watch all the food shows, and online you see all the people who are all about food tech and food tanks, and everyone's talking about food incubators and pitching at these big events your food idea. But there's a lot of people who just want to make a batch of cookies in the home kitchen and sell it, correct?
Right. Sell it in their neighborhood even. It doesn't even have to be big time. Although some people do big time. There's some people, have pretty good size cottage food businesses. In fact, some people have gone over the $50,000 limit and are now, have moved to a commercial kitchen. So it's really been, a nice career for them to actually grow into something like that.
So speaking to the $50,000 limit, Heather and I don't know if you heard in the first segment, we did this 50 states research project, and it's kind of all over the map. So whoever's listening to the show, because we're nationwide, we're international, et cetera, but if you're in, Iowa or Michigan or whatever, you might have a limit of 20,000. There are some states that have no sales limit. So just to be clear on that. Also, I wanted to hear from you, one, how long have you had this Facebook group? And two, what prompted you to begin one?
Well, actually, I did not start that group. There was another California cottage food baker who started the group, and then after about 6 months decided the cottage food wasn't working for her. So she moved on. She asked me to take the group over, which is what I did. So that's how that's how it happened. It pretty much the first year of the cottage food law in California. I can't remember if it was 2012 or 2013. But so it's been going on for that long, and it's growing quite a bit as more and more people find out about the cottage food law.
And tell us about your business.
I have a very small cottage food business, and it's called BonnieFormanConfections.com. That's my website. Sorry, I didn't mean to plug it. It's Bonnie Forman Confections. Is my business name.
That's what we love that, Bonnie. That's just so you know. That's why we're here. We want people to call us and tell us about their businesses and how to find you. That's the whole purpose and mission of this show. So feel free to plug away.
BonnieFormanConfections.com.
I'm in Walnut Creek, California, which is outside of San Francisco. It's about 25 miles east of San Francisco, and I'm retired. I retired last year and have been doing the cottage food since it was first approved in California. And I kept it small because I was working full-time. And then when I retired, it grew a little bit, but I still I'm very busy. And so for me, it's a side job, a way to make a little bit of extra money. It's not a huge career thing for me. I dream about doing that, but I have so many other things going on in my life that I just can't squeeze it in. So I just take orders as they come in. I don't. I promote it somewhat on Facebook, somewhat on Instagram, and my local area. And most of my business is from my neighborhood. And so it's for me. It's the nice thing about it is that I can manage my time. I can take orders when it fits into my schedule, or if I get too many orders, I have to turn some away, but it's something that you can really manage with the rest of your life. So I really like it a lot.
Well, and before there was a cottage food law, people had to rent a kitchen, a commercial kitchen, or a shared kitchen, and so it really takes making it a part-time side hustle. it takes that possibility even away.
It's really hard to make money at it. In the San Francisco Bay Area, that kind of thing is really expensive to rent a commercial kitchen or a shared kitchen. It's just, you'd have to charge so much for your foods that it's not worth it.
It doesn't pencil.
So being able to do it at home is really an ideal thing, and I'm really happy. I'm happy about two things: that the law was passed in California, and that the second year of the law, they actually approved butter in buttercream. That was huge for me, because the first year you only could use shortening.
Really?
That's not the case anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's still the case in some states. I mean, there's a lot of inconsistency across states on what you can and can't do. In fact, I was just reading about Wyoming, and apparently you can do just about anything in Wyoming.
We call it the Wild West of cottage food.
Yeah, without inspection. You can't do meats, I believe, but
That's true.
It was wild to hear that. It was really, I was jealous.
Well, take a look at the Harvard Food Law and Policy Clinic Cottage Food Report that was published in 2018, and it really highlights how all over the place every state is. It's just there's no consistency. So it's daunting to try and figure out what you can do initially when you're even dreaming of starting this kind of business.
Right. And then the other frustrating thing for a lot of cottage food bakers, at least in California, is I think in many of the counties, the people who are doing the approving or looking at your ingredients, they're not educated. So they say things, they say things are not approved when in fact they are approved by the state. And they kind of make up their own rules about what's okay and what's not okay. For example, a macaron. Now, macaron uses meringue, but it's baked into a cookie, so it's a cookie. But some counties are saying, no, it's meringue and white, egg whites. That's not approved. So they're not educated, and they make decisions based on that. It's very frustrating for cottage food bakers to get around this kind of thing. And I wish the state would step in and clarify things a little better in their wording.
So, Bonnie, with that frustration stated, what other obstacles or challenges do the people in your Facebook group run into?
I think that's one of the biggest things is counties making up their own rules, inconsistencies between counties. One county says an ingredient is improved, another county says it's not approved. It doesn't make any sense, and also clarifying shipping. Some people think it's okay to ship within the state. Other people say, no, you can't ship at all. I actually think the state's pretty clear on that, but people like to interpret it their own way, or counties like to interpret it their own way. So I think educating the people who are actually doing the approving of permits would be a helpful thing. And I think there are still some counties who don't like the idea of cottage food, and so they put up all these obstacles for people to get their permits. So that's unfortunate, too. I don't know what that's about, but I do hear stories about that as well. For me personally, I'm okay with the rules as they are. I follow the rules. I think most of the ingredients make sense, except for meringue powder, which a lot of people complain about because it's not approved by the state. But again, some counties approve it, other counties don't, even though the state was pretty clear on it. So it's just a lot of confusion for people. Well, I think that's the challenge.
But and then beyond the challenges, what do you think, why do most people get into or dream about starting a cottage food business? What are they dreaming about? What are they telling you that their hopes and dreams are as far as starting their own business?
I think some people actually want to make a living at it. Mm-hmm. They really want to turn it into a career, and with the right mindset and the right skills, you can certainly do that. Some people just love to bake, and they think, oh, this is a great way to make extra money, and so they want to just sell as they can. And I always appreciate it when they come to the group because they want to get a permit, because the other frustrating thing is how many people are out there selling without a permit. They don't even know it exists, or they know and they don't care, and they're just doing their own thing. So I think people just, there's a joy in baking for other people.
Yes.
There's something very special about it, and I think a lot of people just get that. They just get it.
I make malasadas, which are Hawaiian donuts, and I actually do.
Which I want to try.
Can you
send me one?
I know, right? They're best fried hot right out of the oil, and so I make them. I work out of a shared kitchen in Oceanside and down here in San Diego County because my particular type of food is not allowed out of my home kitchen, which
Why isn't it? What about it is not allowed? The fact that it's fried?
I think the fact that it's fried on site. Because it's a donut. I know, right?
No, I don't see why it wouldn't be approved.
Well,
this is why we thought.
I know. And so I have the oil that needs to be disposed of, and so I have to have a grease trap for that.
Yeah.
So, I do think there is some gray area. But for me, I just wanted to get started, and I went right to the commercial kitchen, and it's a shared kitchen, and probably the prices aren't as great as they are up in San Francisco. But my point being, when you're talking about making something with your hands, there's a lot of because Mary and I, we do media and write, but there's something about actually making something with your hands that's very satisfying.
Yeah. It's very satisfying,
and serving people food. Will you stay with us?
Can you stay with us through the commercial break?
A few more minutes, yeah.
Okay, terrific.
Right, terrific, thanks.
All right, you're listening to Kitchen Dough with Mary and Heather. We'll be right back.
Whether you are a woman, a man, or a young person, your time in a hair salon should be special. I'm Doris Rivas-Brecky, host of Daily Dialogue with Doris on WS Radio, and I look forward to those special moments at Fantastic Sam's located at 124 West Main Street in downtown El Cajon, California, and the Fantastic Sam Salon at 9723 Mission Gorge Road in Santee, California. I go to both depending on which way I'm heading out for work. Both salons are conveniently located by two major freeways. The Fantastic Sam's experience is always positive, uplifting, and family-friendly. Fantastic Sam stylists put your hair needs and desires first. So if you don't know Fantastic Sam's in El Cajon or Santee, California, why don't you give them a try and tell them Daily Dialogue with Doris sent you.